Anne Marie Echevarria versus Zaon Collins, A 8 4 4 6 5 2. Who's here for this?
Morning, on Ramzy, Ladah for plaintiff.
Good morning, Judge. Joseph Chu for the plaintiffs.
Morning.
Your Honor.
Registering this for defendant. Morning, Honor. Cheryl Durrani for defendant.
Okay, everybody have a seat. So, my initial thoughts when I looked at this was I want to reset your motion and limine hearings on a special setting. My suggestion is March 3rd, 2025 at 2 p.m. I believe that's a Monday. And I want to do your calendar call immediately after that because I don't think it makes sense to have what we have going on right now, which is motions and limine scheduled for March 7th and calendar call scheduled for March 3rd because your motions and limine sometimes affect the length of your trial. So what are council's thoughts on that? And are you all able to appear on March 3rd at 2 p.m.? It would be a special setting just for this, where we heard your motions in limine and then, like I said, did your calendar call immediately after.
We're good with that. The plaintiff side, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. So is defense.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's move all the hearings that are set for the 7th. Will there be more motions limine, or is this all of them?
No, we just filed a motion of limine. Was it Monday?
Tuesday is.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Monday was a holiday.
I'm wondering if there's gonna be more filed by anybody.
None anticipated this time. I think there's only maybe 7 or 8 total between the
Okay.
parties.
So we'll set them all for March 3rd at 2 p.m. It's a special setting just for this. Any other preliminary issues? I know last time we were here, I asked you guys about a settlement conference or mediation, and I think the comments were that there wasn't there were thoughts that it wasn't going to be successful because of previous discussions that had occurred between council. Where is everybody on that now? Has that changed at all? Does anyone think it makes sense to mediate or go to a settlement conference at this time? And if so, have you guys discussed it? And if the answer is still no, that's fine.
Answer is no, Your Honor. My clients want to go to trial, so.
Okay.
And Your Honor, yes, the answer is the same.
Okay. So, why don't you review your calendars and make sure you have an idea of what your calendars are on March 3rd, unless you guys know already now where you might like to be on the stack. I can put you tentatively where you're saying, but full disclosure, there are 2 cases ahead of you that are older that will get priority.
The only week that would be a problem, Your Honor, would be the week of March 17th, because a number of the witnesses are teachers that worked with the plaintiff, worked with the decedent. And that week is a spring break. So, and I plotted this out. I think we can get it done in 12 court days, Your Honor. So any other time other than that week of March 17th, our side can make work.
Okay,
And Your Honor, we cleared our calendar for this case, so we're good to go.
okay, so, and you think you need 12 days, is that what you said?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it'd be either the 24th, the 31st. Are you talking about 12 full days? Or are you counting in that there'll be half days in there?
Well, we counted out that we assumed that a few of the days would be half days in there. Do
Okay.
you have, I assume you have 3 full days and 2 half days a week, is that correct?
That's what we like to do.
Okay.
And generally you get a full day Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and half days on the Tuesday and Thursday. We'll move stuff around to accommodate that. We can do all half days if we need to as well. I don't love doing that for the juries, but honestly, sometimes juries don't mind coming a little bit later or earlier too. So it's just something to think about. Why don't you talk to each other with the idea that I like to start on a Monday if we can, but we can start on Tuesday if we need to. And the first few days, no matter what they are, I'd like to do the first 2 or 3 days until we get a jury. I'd like to do full days so that we don't have 80 people here any longer than we have to, because it becomes very crowded here, even just for using the bathrooms on this floor.
Makes sense, Your Honor.
So just
I-
plan for the first 2 to 3 days until we get a jury. We're gonna do full days.
I assumed that it was gonna be 3 full days, 2 half days a week, so 12 days, but with that schedule should be sufficient.
Okay, do you agree 12 days?
Your Honor, I've already spoken with Mr. Ladah in regards to this. For us on the defense side, it's gonna be much shorter. But then again, I'm not doing his plaintiff's case, so.
Do you all think you can get me a pretrial memo? By the 1st, so I have it by the 3rd? Or do you need to know what the rulings on the motions limine are first?
I think we do need to know the rulings and motions eliminated because it may pare down the exhibits, if that makes sense, Your Honor.
Okay,
And it may facilitate some stipulations. That
so we'll
makes
talk
sense?
about that on the 3rd, and you will probably be setting an additional calendar call on the 3rd as well then. So that we tentatively set the trial dates on the 3rd, and then you come back like a week before the trial starts to talk about any additional pretrial issues that we have. I also think, and I'd like council to discuss this because there has been media coverage associated with this, how you all want to address that in Wadir. And I'd like to hear council's proposals on that. I'd love to hear that on the 3rd, but if we don't have that yet on the 3rd, ready for that, then we can talk about it. At the calendar call, the additional calendar call that we set. If you've already addressed it in the motions eliminate, is that why you whispered? Did you guys already address it in the motions eliminate?
No, Judge, I was asking whether we should bring up the possibility of using a jury questionnaire. That particular issue was not addressed in
Okay.
anybody else, but we can talk.
Yeah, and if you do want a jury questionnaire, we either have to move very quickly, or we've definitely got to be looking at the end of that stack, like starting on the 7th. Okay, because jury questionnaire, we need a 30-day lead time. Okay,
Understood. And I don't know that we need a questionnaire, maybe a question from the court to the panel at the beginning. If anyone's heard of the case, may be sufficient for the media issue. Does that make sense?
okay. Okay, you want to make any additional comments?
No, Your Honor, I agree with plaintiff's counsel in regards to that. That's something that we have to look at in regards to any media questions during voir dire. But
Okay, so I'll see you all on the 3rd. Calendar call is rescheduled from March 6th, or March 6th to March 3rd. Motions limiting are also all rescheduled to March 3rd at 2 p.m. Any questions, or does anybody have anything additional to put on the record? Oh, and like I said, we're going to be setting an additional calendar call on the 3rd. So if you want to talk to each other too and find out when that would be a convenient time for you, depending on how much you think you might want to cover, we might want to be looking at an afternoon where that's all we do. Okay, because the more we have covered ahead of time, the faster our trial is going to go. Any questions?
No,
no, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks, guys. See you March 3rd.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care.
Thank you, y'all. Thank you.